Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Getting to Know Marshall Mo, where we will explore and get to know the different places and businesses in Marshall and the people behind them. I'm your host, Jacob Phillips, Realtor Associate with Swinger Realtors right here in Marshall. Today I have the privilege of introducing Dallas Hopping, who is the program director at the YMCA. So, welcome to the show, Dallas.
Welcome, glad to be here.
Thanks for joining us. So, tell me what that is. What is the program director of the Y? What do you do? Let's start there.
So, being the program director at the Salt Fork YMCA, I oversee all youth and family programs that we provide for the community. I mean, it can vary from youth indoor soccer to volleyball, which we're having upcoming, and then to the Halloween Bash, Healthy Kids Day, all these various events that we host for the community as well.
Awesome. What's something about that role, or what's something that you and the YMCA are doing that maybe the general public doesn't know? Whether it's, obviously there's a lot of energy that's spent getting those programs put together. What's something about that the general public doesn't know?
Just the time and effort that gets put into those programs. I mean, it's not something that you just sign your kid up and boom, it happens. I mean, there's a lot of preparation, a lot of time behind those scenes that I have to do and my team has to do, so that we can make that, whether it's a league or whether it's an event, make sure that runs smoothly as the best we can and provide it for the community.
So your team, I know you have 2 interns. Kind of break that down. Like, what's your team consist of? Like, how many man hours you're going into things like this? And maybe not a specific number, but how many bodies are involved in putting these things together?
I mean, it varies. I mean, from our Halloween event, we have, I believe this year we're going to have about 50 people assisting with this event.
Holy smokes. Okay.
So that's just for our Halloween event that comes next month in October, October 28th. And like I said, we're going to have about 50 people helping with that.
Wow.
I mean, and in our sports leagues, I mean, outdoor soccer this past year, we had over 200 kids registered, and we had over 30 different teams.
Wow.
So when you have 30 different volunteer coaches, you have 10 referees, you have all the assistants, my assistants, interns, everybody helping me with painting fields, mowing fields, all of that.
Awesome. What that might actually be a great transition. What are some of the biggest challenges you have in this position then?
I would say the biggest challenges, and this is, I guess, what everyone's facing nowadays, is probably just the economy currently. I mean, for us to be able to, our goal is not to profit on any of our programs, but our goal is to make sure that they stay afloat. I mean, we can't sit there and have a sinking ship every day. But making sure we're getting enough kids for these programs, and then when we do, is make sure that's a good price point for everybody. I mean, we offer scholarships for kids. We offer financial assistance for every kid if they want it. That's all offered. So if you can't afford something, if you need help just paying for it, we're there.
Supply, equipment, things like that. You've got support for either enrollment or to get baseball gloves or bats.
And we do have some of that too as well, that we have sponsors, and we have some local donors that do help with, just providing that kind of stuff for the community. So when there's kids that they need a baseball glove or they need pants or whatever they need, we have people that donate, hey, I have a bunch of old gloves, or we'll have a person that says, hey, I went and bought out these 5 brand new gloves for this local business. I want to give them to you for you to be able to utilize for your program.
That's awesome.
So,
and we talked before we started recording about how, you can provide this, and this, but the community we're limited on how much they can support those programs for the Y. So you can't necessarily have 2 events that might pull from the same, or 2 programs that might pull from the same crowd, because parents are going to have to choose between one or the other. And so now you've got all this time and energy out on 2 different projects or programs that now one of them's suffering, and now you've got 2 underperforming ones where your part of your job is deciding where to put that energy.
And me personally, and our organization, we have stuff going on. It's like every month there's something going on.
Sure.
And going back to the costs, I mean, when parents are, hey, I need to be able to pay for indoor soccer or flag football, but then we have camps or kids stay out, or when they need child care or after school program. I mean, sometimes it makes them have to choose.
Sure.
And I mean, we don't want them to be able to have to do that. We want to be able to provide the support and the help so they can do it all.
Sure.
And like currently, we have a camp going on right now. We have after school program going on. Flag football is currently going on. Indoor soccer starts next month. So we have all of these programs currently going on. Sometimes our dollar is going less each day, each year.
Sure.
So I think now they're having to pick and choose, but we want to be able to help them the best we can.
Gotcha. What made you choose? We're getting a little more personal now, slowly. Yeah. What made you choose a profession like this? What motivates you? What drives you to do? I mean, Dallas is just an awesome guy. Before we started, I remember a conversation with Dallas about how I was just telling him praising him one day about you don't have any local ties here, right? You don't have family here. You don't have children here yet. Dallas came from because of Missouri Valley. Did you play baseball or?
Yep. I originally came from Little Rock, Arkansas, born and raised there, and then went to another college and played baseball there for 2 years, and then transferred into here to Missouri Valley College, and I played the rest of my remaining years of eligibility playing baseball there.
Gotcha. Dallas participated in the Vote Yes committee. He's very involved in the community, and I've always admired that about him because, again, he's got no ties here, no children here, no personal investment. So what made you choose this profession? What drives you to keep doing that? Because you do it really well.
So something you said is, I don't have any kids. I don't personally, but when you go back and look at it, I have 1,000.
Yeah.
Because each year I serve about 1,000 kids, and each one of those kids, I look at it as like a sibling or as a child, and I care about every single one of them, and I want the best for every single one of those kids. And some of them, even before I was at the YMCA, I've known for years. There's some kids I've seen them in diapers, and they're 10 years old now. So, and just seeing them grow up is something that really motivates me, and just seeing their development and grow into teenagers and adults. I mean, that's really what helps me in this profession. What really wanted to get me into it is I wanted to help the kids, help the community. I like being a mentor, I like being a leader. So I think some of them really need it.
Sure.
Some of them, it's just a help. It's nice, but I think being able to help the kids the best I can.
Yeah. I've admired Dallas for that attitude. I get really since I've met you. So I just think that's awesome. So how long have you been in Marshall then?
This was a hard question to answer because I always think of it like, okay, well, I came to Valley in 2016.
Okay.
So technically I've been in Marshall for about 7 years.
Okay.
But lived as a resident for about 4 years.
Okay.
So I've been a resident for 4, but I've been in the community of Marshall for about 7.
Break that down. Like, why did you draw a line? Like, why are you cutting that 3 years off as a student? Because you were a student and you're like, I'll just go to school here.
Yeah, just because you went to school here, you didn't really see the community.
Sure.
I still remember my first time ever going on the square, I drove backwards. I drove the opposite way. Because back home, we have a square, but they go both ways.
Right.
Here, I was driving backwards and I was wondering why I was getting funny looks. It was because I'm driving backwards. I backed into a parking spot because there was no one that went this way. So it's stuff like that even when I was in college, I didn't know there was a KFC until I graduated.
Right.
So it's stuff like that. Because we always go to the CAF. You eat on campus,
right.
You stay on campus. Especially being as a student athlete, you're not done until 7 o'clock at night usually anyway. So it's not like you can go explore the town.
Right. And
when your friends want to go to Kansas City or Columbia, Sedalia, I mean, those kind of things. I mean, you did those things, but
right. So you're saying in 4 years, that's when you kind of, I'm assuming you got your first job here, and then you buckled down, and you were a Marshallite now.
Yeah, Marshallite. I was a resident at that point, but that's when I really started to oversee. I still learn stuff.
Sure.
To this
I
day.
am. That's one of the funnest things about this. Is what I'm learning.
I'll drive around and I'll be like, I never even noticed that, and I'll be like, okay. So I mean, stuff like that. That's pretty neat too.
Yeah.
So.
Have you, since you've been here, what maybe tell me one significant change that you've seen since you've been here?
That's tough.
Or it doesn't have to be one.
I mean, significant changes. I think. Well, for instance, I think Missouri Baptist College is doing a lot of really good things right now, especially in the new administration. I think they're doing a lot of really good things. I think there's a lot of buy-in from staff and employees, in fact.
Sure.
And community-wide, I mean, this is me personally speaking. I was really excited to see the yes vote on April 4th.
You're not.
So really good to see some progression in our school systems. So I mean, like I said, I don't have a kid. I vote out of my own opinions and my thoughts. So I mean, just to see that and to see that that's going to progress over time.
Absolutely. It's there's only positive things about it. Hey, a little more in taxes, but they're going to go somewhere. So, what do you love most about Marshall? You've been here. You're calling yourself resident of 4 years. So, what's your what do you love most about Marshall? What keeps you here?
Definitely the community is what keeps me here. And most people can say this, I love being able to say that when you're introducing somebody, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know that girl. And then me also as a resident, I like being able to say that, okay, I need my windows done. I know who to go to.
Right.
And I know them personally. It's not just, oh, I know this business that's on Main Street.
Sure.
No, it's I know John Smith that I need to go get my windows done, or say, hey, I know a realtor, I know Jacob, okay, and go to him.
Sure.
And so it's stuff like that I like about the small community, being everybody.
Yeah, well, especially in a role like yours, you get to, I would hate to know what Walmart is like for you.
Yes, I mean, every kid and every parent, grandparent, they all want to say, and I love it, and so. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop. I love those connections that I create, and I want to keep those connections. I mean, those help keep me around too.
Sure.
It's because I like being able to generate those connections and feel connected to not only every kid, every parent, grandparent, volunteer, employee. I like feeling connected to those. It helps keep me in this community. It helps me feel like I belong. Sure.
Well, and I was going to just add to your list, folks like the Vote Yes Committee, which a lot of them are parents you're already seeing, but there were also like some young professionals that you dealt with and built relationships. I know because I was part of it. Built relationships with. So I agree. We've got a lot of great things, and that's one of the best. Okay. But a little less serious. Favorite restaurant? I gotta ask everybody. That's the whole point, right? So, our favorite restaurants. Maybe give me a top, so you don't have to describe.
I'll give you. I'm gonna get some probably heat from some restaurants out here, and that's gonna. Okay, I'll give you.
No particular order.
No particular order. I'll give you the top 3 that I go to more regularly than others.
Okay.
I would say I go to Leaning Side. Thanks, Scott. I would say I go to La Paz quite often, and I go to Montague's quite often.
That's awesome. Those are 3 that are all great that haven't been named yet. Now, granted, you're only the second guest, but but those are great. Okay, what when you're done eating or before you eat, what are you doing when you're not working? What are you doing in Marshall?
I play a lot of golf.
Okay.
So I play a lot of golf. I play 1 to 2 times a week usually.
Indian foothills or the?
Mostly Indian foothills. 2 weeks ago I was out at the country club.
Gotcha.
Playing out there.
Sure.
So mainly it's Indian foothills, but the country club shows a really good course, and they're making some really good improvements on it lately.
Sure.
So and foothills is a really great course as well. 18 holes. So
yeah. What's something that we don't know about you? You and I have been friends now for a little while, but what's something maybe I don't know, or that your parents or your kids at the Y don't know?
Well, a lot of people look at me and they're like, okay, but I was and still am huge into powerlifting.
That's right. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Forgot about that.
Most people don't realize that. And I mean, if anyone's ever been in my office or see the backside of my office, I have medals going down the backside of my office that are all from my major competitions. And then when you go to my office at home, I have medals still at home. I mean, I have so many medals from that, and I was very successful. I was 1 point top 3 in the country for 2 straight years.
You're still doing this though, aren't you?
Yes and no. Yes, but I've kind of backed off a lot. I do more of the announcing and the refereeing. I am a USA powerlifting judge, so I'm a registered licensed judge, so I go to events and I judge these meets now. And just got done announcing one over the weekend, so I throw on a little get up and everything like that, and everyone loves. And
do you travel a lot doing that, or
yeah,
like kind of all over, or is it region specific?
It's mainly Midwest region.
Gotcha.
Anywhere from Illinois to Kansas. Gotcha. Mainly in that area. Announcing, I did it one time by accident, and the meet director loved it, and the state chair of Missouri for USA Powerlifting loved it, and so he paid me to come back. And now I have Illinois reaching out to do it. I have Kansas reaching out. The biggest meet in Kansas history just happened this past summer, and I announced that 2-day meet.
Cool.
I mean, it's stuff like that
right.
Now I'm starting to get a bigger name announcing. I guess I have a loud voice, but people like it for some reason. So,
sure.
But so still in it. I'll probably never get away from it. I'm kind of done competing for the moment. It takes a lot of toll on your body. So, but I was really good at it at one point, and still am.
Right.
Still stronger than most.
Well, what's something that the future holds for you? I want to know. We kind of got into the personal stuff, but I do want to know what the Y's got going on. But even yourself personally, what are some exciting things going on, both at the Y and with you?
Personally, I got some goals I'm trying to achieve. I won't disclose those, but
sure,
I got some goals I'm trying to achieve, and I'm really close to some of them, and I'm happy about that. And why? I always try to beat my own self.
Sure.
I try to beat my own numbers, try to beat my registrations, try to beat programs, try to make programs better than they were. And so currently in the next year, trying to just boost all of our programs. We have some new programmings upcoming that we've never had before, or haven't had in a while, and so.
Well, just spend a little bit of time. What are they?
So youth volleyball's coming up.
Okay.
I don't believe we ever had it. I know we've had adult volleyball at one point, but youth volleyball, that's going to be 4th grade to 8th grade. It's going to be split up 4th to 6th and 7th and 8th. And I think that should go over really well. We have a community need for it. There's a lot of little girls that don't have sports. They're not in a dance, not in a cheer.
Softball is about the only thing I can think of.
Softball.
And basketball, yes.
A lot of other stuff is just co-ed specific.
Sure.
And so we really don't offer a ton of things for just girls.
Sure.
Sports-wise. I mean, because it's either dance or cheer. Besides softball, there's not a ton of things for them to do sports-wise. So now we get to offer that. That's not basketball. That's not softball.
It's something different, variety.
Yeah.
And this could be a tangent that we'll try to avoid going too far. But being involved in youth sports, you are more than familiar with the over competitiveness of it, and professionals all across the country in every possible sport are saying no, don't specialize. And so when the Y is able to provide this variety, you're getting, well, you know more about it than I do, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing to keep having these new programs. Go ahead.
I mean, it's good for the kids, especially at a young age, because you don't know what they're gonna like until about middle of high school. I mean, and I went to college, went to 2 different colleges, got paid to play baseball, and I didn't actually pick up a baseball until I was an 8th grader.
I remember. I'm glad you said that. I remember you saying that.
I played basketball and soccer a lot growing up, and so from when I was a little kid, I was always shooting on a basketball goal, always shooting soccer on soccer goal. So I didn't pick up baseball until I was in 8th grade, but so I didn't know what I liked.
Sure.
And so that's what a lot of these kids, introduce them to it, see if they like it or not. And if they don't, they don't. But it also makes them versatile.
Sure.
So that when they do go to high school, they're like, oh yeah, I remember a little bit of when I played volleyball at the YMCA a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really like it then, maybe I like it now.
And then there's the benefits that we all already know and acknowledge of sports, you know, that adversity early on, overcoming, you know, struggling dribbling a basketball or, you know, swinging and missing and overcoming that's good for that. That's one of the most beneficial things, athletics and things like that. So
just for life too. I mean, like most people say this reference all the time. As a baseball player, I'll say it again. I mean, baseball is the one sport you fail 7 out of 10 times and you're successful and you can be a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, right.
You fail 7 out of 10 times. I mean, and it teaches you that those 7 out of 10 times. And I mean, I see it on a day-to-day basis. A kid will strike out, a kid will miss a shot, and they'll get really down on themselves. They get upset, they'll cry. But in reality, like, you have plenty of other opportunity, and you're going to face failures in life, but you have to be able to overcome them until you're successful. So in baseball, you can fail those 7 times, but those 3 times you're successful can lead to a promising career. And so the kids have to understand that too. You fail at starting a business once, you fail at starting another business. You keep trying until that business starts and you get it going. I mean, not everyone's going to be Elon Musk the first time they start a business, and he actually...
Or 30th.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got bankrupt on his first business he tried. I don't know that for sure now. But
there are all kinds of those stories. Yeah, gosh, I wouldn't plan on going there, but Oprah's on that list. There's a lot of those examples. So,
you'll hear it all the time of... one of the biggest stories I've heard recently is Cooper Kupp. I mean, for the Rams, where he was like sleeping on a couch, his girlfriend's couch, and his girlfriend was supporting him while he was like failing because he was like trying to fail school. He was trying to pass school, but he was failing, and then he was trying to provide for himself by having a job and play football, and it was just all so hard until his girlfriend starts to really support him. And now the guy's one of the best wide receivers in the league.
Man, this actually went in a cool direction. That's because this is, it kind of just leads to the last and final. And you really, I think you've probably given your advice for young people, but wrap up everything you just said, and what's a bit of advice maybe that you give your kids every day, or that you maybe wish that you could tell them right now. What's just one bit of advice you'd like to share?
Well, I'm just gonna give him a couple, but
okay, sure.
I would say number one, I try every young adult and kid create financial stability for yourself, and in life. I mean, that goes a long way. And I mean, I know money doesn't create happiness, but it helps a little bit. And, create financial stability, but also something I always talk about is kindness is free. Kindness is free. I mean, everyone takes a different approach to life, but I mean, you don't have to pay anything to go and be nice to somebody, to be kind to somebody, or to do a good deed. I mean, so.
Awesome. Well, great. All that's great. The last 5 minutes probably were just probably the best part of the interview, I think. I mean, the whole thing was good, but just the failure and everything you talked about, it went a direction I wasn't counting on, I wasn't expecting. So that was really cool that happened. But that's kind of all we got. So I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Reiterate one more time, we've got volleyball. Do we have anything else exciting happening with the Y coming up?
Indoor soccer's coming up here soon. Middle of October is when that'll start.
Okay.
Youth volleyball, and then we'll wrap up with our esports, and basketball's around the corner, so I'm just ramping up. So.
Sure. Yeah, Halloween coming up.
Halloween batches, October 28th.
Okay.
So the last day to register for indoor soccer is October 9th.
Okay. So. All right. Well, that's what we've got today. This is Dallas Hopping with Salt Fork YMCA, and that's what we brought for you today. So Dallas, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
This is just another great episode of Getting to Know Marshall Moe. So, if you Dallas, how can anybody reach you? I guess we should cover that.
No, you're okay. You can either call the YMCA at 660-886-9622,
Okay.
or you can reach me via my work email, which is dhopping, HRPPING, at sulphurymca.org.
Awesome. So there you go. So if you got any questions about what's coming up or any of the activities or how to register or any of those types of things, reach out to Dallas and then I'll take care of you. So,
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all I've got. Thanks again for joining me, Dallas.
Thanks for having me on.
It's been a pleasure and we just keep getting better, I think. So,
Good.
Well, that's all we have. Thanks again. Remember to shop local. And if you've got any real estate needs or questions for Marshall or surrounding areas, definitely reach out to me on my cell phone, 660-815-4446, or at the office at Swinger Realtors, 660-886-3388. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.